Something that's hard for me to understand is like human value outside of a theistic perspective where humans are made in the image of God. I understand a lot of pragmatic arguments, but it's a lot of people think that we're on a continuum with animals and we're just 1 degree this way, like and there's not like an ontological gap. And some of those people will then become vegans and be like, look, no suffering at all. Others are like, no, I eat a pig. And I'm like, well, you eat pigs, but you don't eat human children. Because I think you recognize there's a difference. Like, what is that difference? In my Weltanschauung, it's because you're made in God's image. He's made us with certain intellectual capacities to recognize things. Maybe it's tacit knowledge. You talked about knowing something, but not knowing why you know it or knowing that you know it. So maybe it's part of like the Pollyannian tacit dimension or something like that, or maybe it's ingrained in our soul if we are substance dualists, something like that. But I wonder what do you believe there is a God? This is like a tough question to be asking you. You said the what am I question is hard. Do you believe there's a God? And if so, like what's our relation to him? And I don't mean to like set you up. I'm genuinely like curious,
I don't believe. See, I wouldn't say that I don't believe in God, and I won't say that I do believe in God. I would say that I contend with that possibility on a daily basis, an almost like hourly basis, man. I contend with it. And I delve into it. I take it seriously, extremely seriously. Sometimes I pray before meals. It's not even clear to me what I'm praying to. But I think that that's something that I think that's a practice. That's a practice that's enriched my life, by the way, like heavily. I think that's something more people, I think that should be socially acceptable to do. That you don't see that at restaurants. Almost anywhere, no one just like take a moment before you eat. Okay. Now you can eat. No one does that. About this that we're just on the continuum with animals. It's not clear to me that how much when you go in one direction being an extreme of a degree, like we always say it's a different a degree but not different of kind, does that become a difference of kind if you're so far advanced on one spectrum? I don't know. I think to me there are two greatest philosophical problems of our era for me, for what I deal with. One is Sorites paradox. And so that comes into play here. And for those who don't know, it's just how many grains of sand do you need to become a heap? Like you look at a heap of sand, you say that's a heap. But then if you were to start from 1 grain at a time, you say that's 3 grains. That's not a heap. When is it? Is it at 10? Is it arbitrary? I think the easiest case to say is that it's just arbitrary and linguistic. But I don't think that that's... I think that we're just not giving that question its due. And I think that at the root of almost every philosophical problem that I see and that I'm interested in is the ship of Theseus or Sorites paradox. And the other philosophical problem I can't recall now. The ship and Theseus and Sorites to me are the same. Because it's like, well, when does something become something else? I've been wondering, Parker, if I could extend string theory. So I'm doing an iceberg on string theory, and that's the most effort that's gone into any video on TOE. So it's a whole podcast that's the iceberg format, and if people are unfamiliar, what it is at first you go into about 5 to 7 layers, and you start at the surface level of some idea. So let's say consciousness. That's another one I want to do, the consciousness theories. So what are there? So the surface levels are, there's dualism, then there's a soul, and then there's that you're not conscious, it's an illusion. Okay, then layer number 2 is where more of the people who are researchers in the field, sorry, not researchers, but people who look into the field know about. So maybe substance dualism or property dualism. I think that would be more like layer 3. But anyway, as you get lower and lower, perhaps by layer 4, you get to where only researchers, like only PhDs know about these concepts. And then even level 6 and 7 are so obscure that like 10 people know about, and they're even dark. So I'm working on one for the mathematics of string theory. Something I'm toying with. It doesn't make sense, by the way. What I'm about to say is that, look, a string is an extended object. Firstly, you think of an electron as just a point. So string theory's innovation is, well, why don't we give another parameter so that it becomes like a line? Okay, and when I say parameter, I mean like a number, like you can extend the object. Okay, and you can extend it so it's one object, and you can also have closed objects, like closed loops. I'm wondering if there's an extension called worm theory. So it's a disk instead of, and there is this in a sense, because there are different brains. There's like D2 brains and D1 brains.
Is it like an extended closed loop?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's like a disk.
Okay.
It's like a disk throughout time. But then there's also something by Putnam, by the way, who believe that what is us is not us in any moment, but us extended through time. So look, we think it's quite obvious that we're spatially extended. Like we're here, I'm here, I'm this long. Okay. But we have so many questions about what is us through time. And the Buddhist answer is that there is none, and so you're impermanent, and thus it's an illusion. Which, by the way, implies that anything that is not existing in time is elusive. Sorry, is an illusion. I don't know if that's the case. They're using the word illusion as a synonym for it being not permanent, which isn't the way that we use it in our everyday context. I'm saying that because some people just think, oh, it's Buddhism, it must be correct because, look, I'm so Westernly enlightened that I have even critiqued my father of Christianity, and I'm willing to accept the enemy of Buddhism. And so look how, you get the idea. But they also have a Western interpretation of the East, and that itself is watered down. So Putnam would say it's quite possible that what is us, what defines us, is not just you in any single moment, but the whole worm of you through time.
Yeah, we call those space-time worms in metaphysics.
So this is
it's another one, man. You're all over the place. You're jumping onto stuff. It's so good. Yeah, David Lewis is another one, another philosopher who talks about that. And I believe it's called segments. People have different words for it, but I'm like, what are you? And some people would say you're the collection of your space-time worm. Like that's what you are. Others might say it's you take a slice, a time slice, and that's who you are is who you wholly are at that time slice.
Parker, I have to stop you because I got to get going, man. I'm so sorry.
No,
there's another meeting that I have.
We went
I'm already
way longer.
late.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We went way longer.
No, it's totally fine. Like I got lost in this, and I would love to continue.
Yeah, well, this is awesome. Thanks so much for the time. I hope we can make it work to do part 2. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, and I'd also love to meet up in person, and hopefully we can do so. If you enjoyed that clip, then the full podcast is out right now. You can click around here. Enjoy. Subscribe to Theories of Everything to get notified of upcoming podcasts, as there are new full-length podcasts every week on the topics of mathematics, physics, consciousness, free will, and AI.